Rain began to hit the tin roof of Hettie's cabin like sharp bells. Then the wind picked up and Hettie could hear the slap of tree branches against the cabin. She got up and took the pies out to cool, refilled her whiskey glass, and returned to her rocker. Hettie started to move in her own time, not that of the weather. Drops of rain turned to sheets, lightning cracked in the distance, and the corner of the roof leak began its drip, drop, drip into the red plastic bucket that lived below it. This withered cabin, its mouse-run walls, was what she had. That and her grandson, who these days was traipsing around the country trying to forget about his mother's death. Hettie's eyes were jumping to the midnight blue diamond shapes nestled in each corner of the quilt's octagonal design. Then her eyes adjusted, holding those diamonds as a ring pattern which made an inner white square stand out, and then the star points became feather tips, a bird's tail, bird's wings. She gazed back to the center of the folds and creases that made up the bird's head tracing had disappeared. How'd I see that before? Hettie reached up to move the lampshade and look for the bird in the quilt again, but thunder rolled over the top of the cabin and light sizzled out. "Damn you, bird," she cursed, and slowly raised up from her rocker, fell for the table, and made her way across the room to the bureau. Her knobby fingers found some matches but knocked over the silver frame with Jessie's picture. "My eyes are going like the bat," she said as the flame flared from her hand. She lit the fat candle on the dresser and then stood the picture up. In the faint, smoky glare of her dead daughter's photo, Hettie saw something move in the reflection. She whipped her eyes around, and there, sitting with folded hands in Wilson's old chair, was a spirit. He was sitting there, sure as shit with the storm raging outside. Hettie drew a sharp breath. She was not rocking, not smoking, not moving. Nothing had made him come but the wind. Hettie closed her eyes for a second and nodded. She heard the chair creak. She felt cold enter the cabin, heard the rain drip into the bucket. Cautiously, Hettie turned to the side, let her eyes slide to see him. He was a plain-looking man in a buttoned-up shirt with a jacket that was a little too big and a wool cap. Hettie felt scared. He was just too close. But he wasn't moving, just sitting still like a crumbling statue. She was afraid to look straight at him, as if he was a wolf or a horse or a deer or something that didn't like to be looked in the eye. His eyes were small and kind, and some part of her knew him like the inside of her skin.